Diablo 4 is a lot more approachable than it looks, but it'll also happily watch you dig yourself into a hole without saying a single word. So before you dive in, here's what you should know. Starting with a question everyone asks first: which character should I play? Thankfully, it doesn't matter. Whether we're talking about the freshly released Warlock or the Sorcerer that has been around for many years, all of them are totally viable at all stages of the game, and most importantly, every class is fun. So just go with whatever looks or sounds the coolest. The same logic applies to your abilities. While some can be stronger than others, the balance isn't perfect. You can beat all of the endgame bosses with any of them. For example, I tried to challenge myself with a firewall build because it felt like kind of a memey spell, but it actually ended up being one of my strongest characters ever. So really, anything goes. So once you've picked your class, what do you actually focus on while leveling? Early on, work on unlocking as many spells as possible to give yourself more options, and then pour the extra points into your main damage dealer. Once that's filled out, work on boosting a solid burst damage spell, something to help you smash through bosses or hordes of elites. By the time you hit the mid-game, you'll have a good feel for what you enjoy and what you don't. That's when you should start taking your build more seriously and looking for strong synergies between your abilities and items. I know it sounds complicated now, but don't worry. Once you're 10 to 15 hours deep, all of this will be second nature. While leveling, don't overthink your gear. Just take whatever weapon gives you the biggest damage and whatever armor has the most green numbers. You'll be swapping through items so quickly, it's just not worth wasting brain power on them. Once you hit Torment difficulty, the beginning of the endgame, that's when you'll want to start actually thinking about what you're wearing. Ideally, you want items that boost your damage, movement speed, skill levels, or survivability, all tailored to whatever your specific build needs. So at that point, even if you find an item that is a much higher level, don't swap it in unless it gives you much better bonuses. They really are that important in the endgame. While gearing is mostly simple, there is one trap you need to be aware of. A 10% with an X next to it is not the same as a 10% without it. The first is multiplicative and will massively increase your damage, while the second is not and will not. So once you reach the endgame, the key to making a character so broken you can bend the game over your knee and spank it is to focus on those X's. Get as many multiplicative bonuses as you can from as many sources as possible, be this gear, glyphs, talismans, and so on. Do that and your damage will scale out of control. It is honestly ridiculous, but it is also a lot of fun. But where does Diablo 4 stand on the age-old battle between offense and defense? Firmly on the side of offense. Whether we're talking about endgame bosses or just packs of elites, the best way to ensure you don't get pancaked is to obliterate everyone before they can act. So, does this mean you should go full glass cannon? No. Get as much defense as you can from your abilities and perks, especially sources of invulnerability, but never sacrifice offense on gear in favor of defense. Being sturdy helps, but a good kill speed really is the key to staying safe in Diablo 4. Diablo 4 has 16 different difficulty levels, 3 of which are available very early on. My advice is to not be afraid of them, even on your very first playthrough. The higher you go, the more experience and gold you'll earn, and so, ironically enough, the smoother your power progression will feel. So unless you want a very chill and relaxing experience, push as hard and as far as your skills and gear will take you. It'll lead you to the most exciting gameplay and the best possible loot. While Diablo 4 has a ton of different content for you to sink your teeth into, as a beginner I would recommend sticking with the campaign first and foremost. The campaign will guide you through the world, help you unlock crucial waypoints and give you a good chunk of experience and gear. After completing it, you'll also unlock a bunch of different endgame activities, many of which will ask you to do stuff you would have been doing anyway, so in that case you'll be able to double dip on loot. And since the rewards scale with your level and difficulty, skipping side content in favor of the campaign won't really hurt you. So stick to the story and enjoy the ride. Every season brings with it a set of seasonal objectives, simple tasks that you'll probably complete just by playing the game normally. But even if you have to go slightly out of your way, it is still worth doing. Why? Because these will reward you with skill points, loads of experience, and naturally, even more loot. Just don't forget to actually claim those rewards. By default, you can access the Seasons menu by pressing U on PC, or find it in the top left of the main menu. It is surprisingly easy to overlook, but there is a lot of power and potential hiding in there, so give it a peek every once in a while. Once you reach level 70, Diablo 4 will throw the scariest thing in the game at you, the Paragon board. Here you can spend your Paragon Points for a variety of bonuses. So how do you actually build your character? Now this will depend on your playstyle, but generally you'll want to unlock as many boards as possible and prioritize the glyphs and major nodes. Those will give you the biggest power boost, far bigger than anything you'd get from filling out just 1 or 2 boards. So while you're still new and finding your footing, just go wide and grab as many big nodes as you can. This is never a mistake. If you check out some of the older guides, you might hear them talk about renown, altars, or other collectibles you need to gather to really power up your character. Thankfully, due to a somewhat recent update, none of that is mandatory anymore. It is now all about experience and gear, which you can get from literally anywhere. So just play whatever content you enjoy and don't worry about missing out if you're not combing over every bush. It really doesn't matter. You know how I mentioned you shouldn't get attached to early game items since you'll replace them very quickly. For that exact same reason, you shouldn't waste your crafting materials upgrading them. The costs on upgrading do not scale very well, so upgrading or adding sockets to early gear is a massive waste. And something that might come back to haunt you once you hit the endgame and realize you're actually really low on everything. So be a hoarder until you hit Torment difficulty. At that point, your upgrades will start to slow down, so improvements will actually stick around long enough to make a big difference. If there is one thing you should take away from this guide, let it be this: experiment. Diablo 4 has a ton of fun skills and perks, and I would highly recommend you try all of them. Respecking is literally free, and you can save your builds. So there is really nothing stopping you from just trying whatever wild idea crosses your mind. And who knows, you might just run into a memey build that ends up being far more entertaining than you ever expected. And there you have it, 12 simple tips that will hopefully make your first trek through Sanctuary all nice and pleasant. Well, despite all the doom and gloom anyway. If you have any questions about the guide or Diablo 4 in general, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!